Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about the Apple Watch. So the model I have here is the 38mm Space Gray Series 1 Apple Watch Sport. I picked this one up used for about $100. Before that I had one of the original Apple Watches, and I decided to upgrade from that because the battery life was really poor. I don't know if it was the specific device I had, but if I used it at all I had to charge it about midday. Before that I hadn't had any kind of smartwatches or anything like that. In fact, I'm not even really much of a watch person. I'm just really deep into the Apple ecosystem, and it's a really nice companion piece. So with that being said, let's move into the pros, and I want to start off with the build. In keeping with Apple's tremendous standard of quality, the watch is solid, well put together, and not super bulky or unsightly like some of their smartwatches. And yeah, I happen to think it looks pretty decent, especially in the space gray color. It kind of just blends in with whatever you're wearing. Although somehow people always manage to ask, hey, is that an Apple Watch? On the topic of design, another thing I really like is how you interact with this watch. Obviously with a display this small, usability is inherently limited, although I do think Apple comes up with some really smart ways of navigating the OS. The digital crown is super intuitive, and Force Touch is a really great way of hiding controls when space gets tight. Next, let's talk about one of the main reasons people are interested in this watch, and that's fitness tracking. So I'm no professional athlete, but I do like to stay pretty active, and other than its inability to tell if you're sitting or standing, I think the Apple Watch keeps pretty accurate track of your movement. So for me, the built-in software has plenty to keep me both entertained and motivated, but if you're a little more advanced or looking for something a bit different, of course the App Store has a wide array of different workout apps available. Of course, one of the other main draws to the Apple Watch is how well it works with other Apple products. Of course, you can get notifications from your iPhone and even answer phone calls and respond to texts without ever picking your phone up, but I think the real magic of the Apple Watch comes in some of the details. For instance, when you misplace your phone, you can just tap a button on your watch and your iPhone will play a nice loud tone regardless of whether it's on vibrate or not. Also, if you have a MacBook like myself, you can simply walk up to your computer, open it, and it will unlock automatically as long as you're wearing your watch. Oh, and another thing that's really cool is the built-in flashlight. It doesn't seem like something you never use, but when you leave your phone in a different room and you need it in a pinch, it does actually work pretty well. It's not super bright, but it gets the job done. Next, let's talk about the Apple XFactor. Every single Apple Watch, even the oldest of Apple Watches, are still running the latest version of watchOS. This means even my 2-year-old watch is still getting improvements every time Apple pushes out a software update. In fact, it's actually really funny to watch old Apple Watch videos to see how far it's come. There's really a lot of things that were not included in the original version of watchOS that make it a lot more usable. Moving on to the cons, I only have a couple of small things worth noting. Battery life is still not as good as I had hoped. I'm sure if you have the 42mm watch, it's not bad, and even this one with light to moderate use, you'll make it through a full day absolutely fine. But if you do anything more intensive, like I, for instance, like to play Pokemon Go. Well, I know people don't play Pokemon Go anymore. I do. I'm that one guy, I've realized this recently. I'm that one guy that it's like almost nobody uses that feature. Like the widgets I use, I listen to Beats One radio, and I play Pokemon Go still. I like to leave that on while I'm at work, and that will kill your battery really quickly. Another thing that's been improved with these Series 2 and 3 watches is waterproofing. Although the Series 1 is technically water resistant, that kind of phrasing is not exactly comforting. It also would be kind of nice to go swimming or even just take a shower without having to take your watch off if you really don't want to. Last but not least, I need to complain about the price of the watch bands. Luckily, there's hundreds of third-party options available online, but if you're dead set on OEM bands, you better be ready to pay. $50 for a sport band is just unreasonable, and that's not to mention how much some of the premium ones go for. I appreciate the abundance of different styles they're available in, but I can just not see a time where I'm willing to spend that much on a watch band. So in my opinion, smartwatches have always seemed a little forced. Obviously they're great for activity tracking, but if you're not super into that, it's hard to justify the price. But with used options becoming more abundant and updates adding more and more features, they're starting to seem like a pretty decent buy. They're not for everyone, but if you're really into health tracking or just want the perfect addition to your Apple family, I think they're really awesome. Anyway, today's question of the day is, do you own a smartwatch, Apple Watch, Android Wear, or otherwise? Let me know by tapping the I, and don't forget I post new videos every single Sunday, so I definitely like to see you back next week. But until then,